The biggest challenges facing the solar industry are how to transmit and store the energy collected by solar panels. How do we get that power to the places that need it? And how do we save it for use when the sun isn't shining? An engineer in Hawaii has offered up one unique solution in his design for a system that concentrates solar power and stores the sun's energy for use around the clock.
My name is Darren T. Kimura. I'm the president and CEO of Sopogy Inc. You know, the inspiration behind Sopogy was a goal to try and help, at first, Hawaii become more renewable, use more of our renewable energy resources to move off of fossil-based energy. Hawaii, because we're geographically isolated, we have tremendous problems with energy. First of all, we import all of our energy. We're about 90% dependent on oil. You can use Hawaii as your lab. You can use this very small, concentrated location and try new things and see what the impacts are of those new things. And if it works great, it's very logical to extrapolate that across the entire continental United States, across Europe, around the world. What Sopogy does is concentrating solar power. We actually use mirrors. We focus those mirrors on the sun, and those mirrors allow us to intensify the sunlight to create heat, high temperature heat that is. And that high temperature heat can be used for things like power generation. CSP, concentrating solar power technologies, generally have storage. And the way that CSP technology stores their energy is in large storage containers in which you store a liquid. The liquid can be water, it can be some form of heat transfer fluid, could even be things like exotic salts.
The collector focuses the sun's energy on a heat transfer fluid. The superheated fluid is then pumped into an insulated storage container to be used as needed.
Energy storage is the next major hurdle for renewable energy. And what we've conventionally done is stored energy in things like batteries. But that's very expensive and unfortunately has a relatively short life. For example, the laptop battery you might have in your computer may last 3 to 5 years. Containers last 30 to 40 years. Energy today is generally produced in what we call central stations, meaning that you've got a large power plant someplace out there. You've got large wires running into the city, and that's how we get our energy. And the thing that people may not realize is we have a lot of losses in those lines. The transformation of the energy grid is going to go from central to decentralized, very similar to the way that we looked at computing. Whereas back in the day, you had one computer in an office and everyone had to go there to the PC, where everyone now has a PC on their desktop. Very similar to energy. Going from the central power plant to having little power stations on everybody's rooftop. We have a solution to many of the world's problems in solar energy today. And the continual evolution of this technology continues to give me hope about the future, and that we can become more sustainable, and that we can kind of claim back our worlds from drilling and dirty fuels and bad air. By using solar technology to shift over owning our energy source and creating it ourselves, that gives me a tremendous amount of faith in the future.